Fair play. Fair play to Newcastle United. Not even the journals had a Scooby-Doo about this pre-season friendly that Newcastle have just played Carlisle. Let's get cracking, everyone. Let's talk about it. Yes, hello everyone. Welcome back to The Last Word. I didn't think I'd be saying that until Celtic next weekend, but here we are. We are talking about Newcastle's 4-0 win over Carlisle. We're going to look at the first 11 and then the second 11, who was missing, and then we're also going to take a look at some speculation that has just occurred this evening. Now, I haven't seen the goals back. All I'm doing is just reporting some of the facts that the journals have, and what we have and what you have as well. And we'll go through some of the players that feature today and have they got a feature at Newcastle United. So it was up at the training ground. And why did Newcastle have a behind closed doors? Was it just to try and get the fitness speeded up? Was it to potentially get one in early? You know, there could be several factors reason why that Newcastle wanted to have this. Maybe it was last minute. The opportunity came up with Carlisle, who of course are managed by Mark Hughes. So, but yes, it was at home. And if you've been out today, like I've been seeing non-league today, it has been red hot. We've got a lot of videos coming on both channels, NFTV Extra and Newcastle Fans TV. We've got this one, we've got the Elanga reaction, and we've got a women's podcast over on NFTV Extra and non-league as well. We are busy today. We've gone from 0 to 4 videos. Mental. And Joe's done it at North Shields as well, so 5 if you include that. Right, so let's get it into it. Let's have a look at the lineup that Newcastle went with. And you can't read too much into it, I don't feel. So the first half, which consists of Nick Pope in goal, the usual system that Eddie Howe will go with: 4 at the back, 3 in midfield, 2 out wide and 1 up top. Right back was Kieran Trippier, captain the side. Jamal Lascelles, great to see him back. Alex Murphy, remember him, out on loan. Leo Shaha can play a predominantly right back. He was moved over left back, young talent. He might make his Newcastle debut this coming season. Sean Longstaff, a lot of speculation about his future with Leeds. He was there. Lewis Miley, who missed the England under-19s Euros over the summer. He was in the start line. Joe Willock also there. Will Asula started on the right-hand side. Over on the left was Trevan Sanusi, who's a talent. He has been plagued with injuries last season. Of course, he made his debut. And Sean Neve up top. So that was the Newcastle United 11. Newcastle went on to score. We went 1-0 up in the first half, where Sean Longstaff broke the deadlock around 25 minutes in after receiving the ball on the edge of the box, and he fires into the bottom net, and Newcastle went 1-0 up, and it stayed that way up until half time. It was interesting for me looking at this is who's actually involved today and have they got features at the club. So that's what I want to talk about to you. So looking at that starting 11, Pope, Lascelles, Trippier are definitely going to be squad or first team players. Alex Murphy is interesting because I've talked about this before. He's been at the club now for this is now his 3rd year, so he's also technically a club trained player now, and I believe he can still go on the under-21 list for the Champions League. So I wonder what we do with him. Talented Irishman. Do we send him out on loan? Do we keep him for a half a season or see how that goes? Leo Shaha, who did a great interview with the club. Of course, he is predominantly a right back, but he does have a few people ahead of him. What will happen with him? Does he stay? And he's still really young. Does he have another season in the under-21s? I think he might be the one that makes his debut next for the under-21 lads. Longstaff, obviously his future with Leeds. Is that affecting him? Well, clearly he's played today, so it can't be that much. So Leeds must be quite far apart from that. Joe Willock needs an injury-free season, doesn't he? Louis Miley, another one. He needs to stay injury-free as well. Will Asula on the right-hand side. I think with Asula, it's quite clear that Newcastle will have to strike, and we are going to talk about Hugo Ekitike in a minute. And he will probably be used as a winger and a striker this upcoming season. And Trevan Sanusi, who made his debut against Bromley last season, has been blighted with injuries last season, but he is raw, still really young, still a teenager. Maybe a loan spell for him, potentially, but he is a talent. He is a real talent. And Sean Neve, our local lad from Leighton, started up top. So, yeah, so good to see Sean Neve. Interesting if he will make his debut as well. It's probably between him and Leo Shaha, to be honest with you. Let's have a look at the second half. Complete different 11. John Ruddy, Yes, he is staying at Newcastle, was in goal. Right back was Harrison Ashby. You remember that name? Yes, he's been out on loan for the last couple of seasons. Fabian Schär, Sven Botman, Matt Targett. That was your back four. The midfield three was Joe Linton, Joe White, Hernandez, who was out on loan last season, as a Norwegian midfielder. Right hand side was Jacob Murphy. Left hand side was Harvey Barnes, and Ben Parkinson played up top. Newcastle went on to score another 3 more goals in that second half. And on 65 minutes, Joe Linton picked up an error. He ran forward, seen possession to find the back of the net. That put Newcastle 2-0 up. Jacob Murphy made it 3. 10 minutes later, where he rounded the goalkeeper, slotted home. Newcastle go 3-0 up. And then 4, Ben Parkinson, he'd be delighted to score, made it 4-0 to Newcastle. Looks like a comprehensive scoreline, doesn't it? Again, the same question going back to the starting, second 11. John Ruddy would know that he's going to be here for another season. Harrison Ashby. Wow. You know, you've got Emil Kraft missing today. You've got Kieran Trippier. You've got Tino Livramento. We've got Leo Shaha. Newcastle are blessed with so many fullbacks. I think he will probably depart the club over the summer, to be honest with you. Matt Targett, future around him. Can he get him off the books? He's only got 1 year left on his deal. And then you've got Joe White, again, another one who's had a good season out on loan. Is he going to be in around the squad, or are we going to send him out on loan again? Again, another one whose contract is running down. Hernandez, the Norwegian, another one who probably needs another good loan spell one more time. And then obviously Ben Parkinson, who scored a few goals in the 21s last season. Maybe he needs another loan potentially as well. And the rest are obviously going to be first team or squad team players. So a good workout. It's been red hot. I've been standing and watching non-league today, and that has been difficult just doing that in the sun. Imagine running around. It's been very warm. And now some people might say, oh, it's never warm at Newcastle. But it was 29 degrees Celsius today, which is pretty warm for us, put it that way. So that was the game. We won 4-0. I haven't seen any interviews after that with the media, which is a bit of shame. But players that missing, there was several. You've probably already off the top of your head, in the back of your head, thinking there's him missing, there's 2, there's 3, there's that person, there's this person. So I'll bring it on screen for you. So players missing today, whether the first team or not, were Martin Dubravka, Odysseus Vlachodimos, Mark Gillespie, Emil Kraft, Tino Livramento, Dan Burn, Lewis Hall, Sandro Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, Anthony Elanga, Anthony Gordon, and Alexander Isak. Elanga was there watching. He didn't feature, but he was there watching. I don't know why he never played. Maybe it was too much of a risk too soon. Potentially, maybe that. But you'll definitely play next week against Celtic, and guarantee that. So on that list, a lot of them are internationals who, of course, have been away and played for the countries and given an extra week off. I expect the majority of that list to return on Monday, leading up to the Celtic game next weekend. Of course, we'll be there for you. The only one that probably may have featured would maybe Mark Gillespie today, but you've already got John Ruddy and you've already got Nick Pope playing today, so that may be why that Gillespie, no point him being there. And the rest of them are all obviously being away with international duty. Even I think Emil Kraft was, recovering because he didn't miss. Emil Kraft missed Sweden's last qualifier, so maybe he's got an injury that we're not fully aware of or not fully recovered yet. But there you go. So that's how Newcastle look. I'm the same as you. I don't know how we played. It looks good, 4-0. You would assume that. I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm not going to say I'm in the know and all this sort of nonsense. But we won 4-0 today, which breeds confidence. Of course it is, going into next weekend. So let me know how you feel about that. What do you reckon about closed doors friendlies? It was a surprise. It was a very surprise, but the journos hadn't a Scooby-Doo. Speaking of journos, we're going to have a little look at our transfer room, and that is heavily being linked the last couple of hours in Hugo Ekitike, not for the first time. Craig Hope has said this, and Luke Edwards has also said it. Luke Edwards was the first one earlier today, said Newcastle have tried to sign Ekitike twice before. Naturally wary of saying this, will get it done, but interest is there, and it would be a big move if they can pull it off. #NUFC. Look, we've talked about him before. He's one of my strikers that Newcastle could look at. I did a video a while back, 5 strikers across Europe. 22 goals last season in 48 games. That's impressive. 12 assists. That's impressive for a striker. So he's not just a goal scorer, he's a creator. So it's effectively, he scores 1 and 2 last season for Frankfurt, which is mint. And of course, he's played in Europe. He didn't really hit the dizzy heights of PSG when he was rumoured to come to Newcastle. He's not the first player to turn one down. He won't be the last. But is he too comfortable where he is? Does he feel he needs another season? Because of the release clause, it's a whopping 86 million. Not euros, not dollars, million. Pounds stronger than both of those. That is a big, big fee to pay to get him out the release clause if you want to go and get him. However, could a deal be negotiated with the Bundesliga club? Potentially. Craig Hope has said that Newcastle's striker search is in full swing and a move for Yoane Wissa is being explored. Among others, Hugo Ekitike is on that list. Different profiles and different prices among targets and options being weighed up ahead of approaches. Of course, Wissa has done really well at Brentford. He is at the wrong age. He's at 28 now, but he will be the cheaper version and he's versatile. He can play across the front line as well. I'm not against Wissa, but I don't think it's a long-term project if we can sign him. I think Ekitike is, because of the investment that you're putting down, is a lot more and his age. So those are your two transfer rumours with strikers. Look, Newcastle are after the hunt. Someone asked me in the last video on the YouTube, would you take Dominic Calvert-Lewin? The answer would be no. But the answer would be yes, if only we had no money left for a striker. Say if we gone and get a centre-back or a right winger, left winger, whatever you want to strengthen. Not that we're going to sign a right winger because we've got Alanga. But you know what I mean. If we put money elsewhere for James Trafford and a right centre-back, if we've got no one else and my money's run dry, then but I didn't touch him. I just didn't want Dominic Calvert-Lewin because I don't get why you would let Wilson go and replace that with the same person who's injury prone. But there you go. So surprise, Newcastle have won 4-0 today. Nobody knew about it until a few hours ago. Keep an eye on the videos coming and NFTV Extra. Women's Pod, we've got non-league from myself and Joe. And on NFTV, we've got a reaction video from Anthony Langer, what everyone's been saying. So drop us a massive like. Hope you enjoyed it. It is pre-season, baby. And I've got now else to say it here. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Tra.